If you came across this video, then this is directly for you. This is not a coincidence, this is meant to happen. Today's date is the 2nd of December 2024. And I don't know about you, but this year has really flown by. But I've also learned a lot this year. I've learned so much about myself. I've just learned so many things. I've tried so many things. I've had a lot more of experiences and I've had a lot more success. This is personally probably the most successful year of my life that I've had so far. And I want to share with you something that I've learned so far this year and something that I think can really help you. So firstly, I went to a church service. It was a christening yesterday. It was Sunday yesterday for one of my nephews, and yeah, it was just really interesting hearing the pastor talk and give his sermon. And when I was sitting there, one of the thoughts came through my mind, which was like, I think the pastor was talking about basically like surrendering certain aspects of yourself to God. And when he was saying this, I was listening. And I think as for someone like me, I'm not sure how you are, but I'm someone who has like a quite critical mind. Like I like to break down ideas and question things and second guess things and try and look at it from different perspectives. So I think one of the things he was saying was that, for example, I think he used an example of like studying for a test and like not doing very well, and then basically, I think the whole premise was that you should like put it in God's hands. So do your best and then put the rest in God's hand. And this is something that at first my first instinct was like, that sounds a bit like hope. Like it kind of sounds a bit like you're kind of just trying to cope for like not doing the best and not getting the result you want. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. So my understanding of this is that, so as a human, if you're familiar with this channel and the kind of things I believe in, you know that the only things I think we have control over as humans is our brains, so our mind, what we think, and our actions. But these two things are influenced a lot by our surroundings, our childhood, and the kind of people that we have around us. So one thing I really want to make sure that you really understand is that you can only control what you do and what you think and basically who you surround yourself with. That includes both people, so like what kind of friends and family you have around you, and what sort of information you're taking in, what sort of content you're taking in the modern world. If we're being honest, it is content. Right now, this is content. But yeah, nevertheless, what I'm trying to say is that we have to be more mindful. That is the main thing. We have to be more mindful. And I think for the next year, 2025, I'm really hoping you can just be more mindful. Like, be honest with yourself. Am I just distracting myself? Am I just watching entertainment content to distract me from the things I actually want to do with my life? Am I just relying on numbing myself to avoid actually like feeling my emotions right now? Like, am I avoiding the tough stuff because I don't feel I'm capable of addressing the tough stuff? And that's something that you may actually have to sit down with yourself and be like, yeah, right now I don't think I'm able to do or be the person I want to be. And bro, I'll be honest, that's a really hard thing to say. That's something I've had to say to myself at a certain part of my life where I was just down bad. I had to be like, yeah, right now I can't figure it out by myself. I can't. I need help. I need to speak to someone. I need to open up, and that's what I did. But nevertheless, so what I'm trying to say is that the whole idea of being able to be more mindful and understand what you're feeding yourself with is super important, and especially as young adults and adults in general, we need to hold ourselves more accountable for the type of shit that we allow into our mind. Because for a long time, I used to be the type of person that didn't really care about the sort of content I watched. As long as it made me laugh at the moment, as long as it kept me entertained while I ate my dinner, I didn't really care. But as I've got a bit older, I've started to understand that everything you consume has an effect on you. Your subconscious keeps the score of everything that you consume, whether you want to admit it to yourself or not. Even that one video you watched maybe a couple of days ago that maybe triggered something in you that made you feel a bit insecure, that's probably still lingering in the back of your mind right now. And I say this to basically say that in order to put your best foot forward for the next year, you're going to have to make sacrifices. You are. You 100% are, because I've had to make these sacrifices, and I can like I can attest to the fact that with sacrifice of, present comfort, present entertainment, as long as you use that time to put into something that you care about, that you can see a future in the future there's going to be dividends to reap. And right now I'm at just the start of my journey, I think, of like reaping the benefits of my past choices. So I think for a long time a lot of us have only reaped the negative the negative consequences of our actions. And this sometimes leads us to be really afraid of the future because we don't have trust in our current self to make the future better for us. But once we're more mindful and we're more aware, we understand that if we manufacture our current self to do things that mainly support our future self, if we perpetuate that mindset, we're constantly going to be living better and better lives and enjoying our lives more. And not just enjoyment in the short term, but enjoyment in the long term. So right now, my goals are all long-term goals. Of course, I have some short-term goals, but they are just to feed these long-term goals. And I think this is something we really need to focus on, just as a people, as a group of humans that want better for ourselves and for the world in general. We're going to have to take accountability and be like, yeah, if I want to live the life I want in the future, that means maybe I can't watch what everyone's watching right now. Maybe I can't be involved in the conversations that everyone's having right now because it's not going to allow me to be the person I want to be tomorrow. Maybe I can fit in with everyone today, but who's going to care about fitting in with these people today when, in a year or two, I won't even know these people anymore. They won't even matter to me. And that's something I had to also come to terms with. Like, the times I used to be like a people pleaser and try and fit in with people to basically just avoid feeling lonely, I would still end up feeling lonely anyway because I'm betraying myself. I'm not being my true self. I'm being a version of myself that I think they like just to get their validation for that moment. And then, as we all know, with humans, things come and go. Like, maybe you get their attention for a while and then they get bored of you eventually. That's just how it goes. And then you're back to yourself. What I'm trying to say is that I feel like there's a shift. I feel like a lot of people are involved in the shift now where we're more aware of the shit we're being fed by social media, by media in general, by the government, etc. And it's like, okay, now that I'm aware of it, I have to make better choices. If I don't make better choices, I'm just going to end up being another number, another person who's living a life they don't want to live, living a life where they don't have any actual fulfillment and enjoyment, but just doing it just to survive. And I don't want to be that person. And I know you don't want to be that person either. That's why you're watching this video still. That's why you're still here. Because there's a part of you that knows that there may be some crucial information here in this video that can actually help you become the person you want to be. I'm not saying this to boost my own ego, like I've got all the answers, that I'm some sort of magician who just knows everything, like I'm a fucking genius. I'm not. All I am is someone who's listening to people that are smarter than me, and I've I've stored that information in my brain, and I'm passing it out to as many people as I can. I would say I'm more like a conduit of information. Like, of course, some of my ideas are unique and they are my own perspective, but a lot of them, these are things that I've like curated throughout my years of just, again, listening to people that are smarter than me. And I think that's something that's really wrong today. We don't listen to people that are smarter than us. We try and listen to people. We try and listen to people that are popular, people that have a big voice, people that everyone looks at. And these are not the people that have big things to say. These are the people that basically just stick to the status quo and will say whatever makes them popular. Because I've started to acknowledge the older I get that usually what's the most popular is usually the worst thing out there. I'll be honest, when it comes to almost any form of commodity, the thing that's the most popular thing is hardly ever the actual like highest quality thing. It's usually the easiest to get into. I'm probably going on a bit of a rant here, but what I'm trying to say is that we need to be more mindful in this next year. I don't want to be going to this next year still having to have the same sort of conversations with people, trying to explain my point of view and why I don't want to do this dumb shit that I used to do. And I'm sure you're tired of having these conversations as well. If you're someone who has started to change and improve themselves, I'm sure you're tired of having to justify why you don't want to be like everyone else. But yeah, as I said, you probably found this video because you're meant to find it. There's something in this video. It might not be even a part that I found important. It might be just be a little tidbit that I have in here that may relate to you, may trigger something in you. And that's why I do this. I want to trigger you in the best way possible, to, you know, be more aware, be more awake, acknowledge that, yeah, we don't know everything. You don't know everything, I don't know everything. And there's always more to learn. I feel like you can learn something from almost anyone. Even like the, you know, the lowest people in society, there's something, a perspective that they have that you can, if not relate to, that you'll find some value and you can find some perspective in. And I hope that's what I've provided you in this video. So I'll leave it there. I hope that you found this, if not entertaining, because I'm not sure I'm being very entertaining, I'm just talking to you quite a matter of fact, but I hope you found it valuable at least, or you found some part of it to resonate with you. So yeah, I'll speak to you soon. I'll probably make more of these videos. If you like them, let me know in the comments, and yeah, see you later.